tell the threshold's going to go under pause here for a second. So now they're going to be safe, but look at how much material investment it's going to take for them to get to the zone. On the mini-map, I still see Nero up for live, so he could be able to recycle all this target here that Skittles is he's going to put out there. He's that, hey, at least he can get one step closer to early winning. But he's not too far off there. Reverse 2K Nero and Dave. Virtually unearned points in this game here. This round of Fortnite, which means even Agents and Skills can jump up and jump far ahead. They have been the most consistent team so far. That average of about 20 points a game is nothing to overlook. But look at this once again. Avery, Savage, poising themselves up, setting themselves up for high ground, and they are looking up and over at these guys. You want to come up here, you're going to have to Slash and Jack moving towards them, which means that they have poorly pulled high ground. And that's a ridiculous stop by Jesse Stretch. Osco puts him down, and all of a sudden now, it's their high ground.
I tried typing the word please raid me and trying to switch on the and then you don't attack us. Why? I want sales kids, right?
Senior, junior, head administrator.
That was right, so come on, I seem to have what you value.
My dear is here.
Well, we need to go. Sat now. You might be able to do something. Almost dream prioritizers would be huge. And we're going to have to dream things. What is this game? It means I need to do this for Will. I've got how much do I care about this?
Now, whether or not they can find a couple more tags, because they're getting eaten alive here by the Surge, and his next player does not want to go down. Finally, someone does. Okay, it is A-okay for them. They are alive for a little bit longer, but this is Sad Stretch and Avery's time to now jump up. This is the time for Acorn and Slack to also jump up. They have to take full advantage of this situation. Danger's down low, though, clutching by himself, finds two inside the storm line. Give this man some more. He's not out of the competition, not just yet. And there's another solo in front of him. He doesn't even need a follow-up from the AR, because the work for him. And there it is. Face Dubs goes down. Big knock here for Agers.
And I mean, he gets the fourth off. He has the minis, but can he get it? He's trying to get some of the whip. He's got to move forward. He's got to do something. No, the man, does he make it? He does. Oh my gosh. Agers, nerves of steel. He stays in store for that extra couple of ticks to get Medkit, knowing he'll get in. And if he gets this off, because he gets on, this is a big swing back. This is your second place team. First is out, third is out, but fourth is on the high ground. They are catching up, but DJ and Ames and Skills are pushing forward this one. He gets a find on the outside. That's Goku. He doesn't get the materials though. Ames has no material up in hand. What can he do here with his whole team riding on this? DJ and Ames and Skills have been in this situation before. They almost got a top 5 last FNCS. They need to clutch one up this time. They just fell short, but no, a top 5 placement point. Avery and Stretch on the high ground. I talked about it. What are their mats looking like? They've had to tough out this entire game. Does Bash pens down Carry have what they need to overthrow them? Because there's 4 teams, 8 players, but 2 of them are full trios. So we have a 3v3, v1v1. What are the 2 solos going to do except for what can Carry do though? What's not? I don't know. We've hyped them up. The underrated goats, they're showing up here against some of the biggest competitive veterans in the scene with their position of power on the high ground.
Yeah, definitely, and Stretch is still putting down that fire here with the infantry rifle, but the Stingbow is the it's so good in this endgame here. It is chipping away that HP lead. Every single 5 tick they get, they are one step closer now to winning. Stretch and Avery here, they're here to seal the deal. This time around, they're coming down with a full trio. Staff does not want a repeat performance from yesterday. There's no way they're willing to drop this one. They're going to go the distance right now. They're going to make sure they win this one out smooth, easy. And this Stingbow is literally the windfall that they needed to secure the dub.
Yeah, it was only 3 eliminations, but at the same time, we saw the big teams go down early. So, did Commandment get them enough? Because those points cannot be understated. Got an elimination, and I would have to say at least maybe 7, 8, 9 placement points in there. So, kind of keeping them up. DJ, again, a massive solo run. Reverse 2K, Day and Hero, they're falling off the pace. Their last few games have definitely been different to their start yesterday. They've got to try a new strategy, but that scares me for the other teams. Can they keep avoiding them? Because I know Reverse 2K, Day and Hero are going to leave nothing
guys so much. Crushing it over on the breakdown now. I gotta say, coming into this game, okay, they were 40 points behind. The victory out in itself was worth 10, and they did pick up 3 eliminations, only 6 points. They did not pull ahead, boys, but this is that the Sundown likes to talk a lot about, and it only takes a single game to suddenly put your children. This game, it might have just done that, Vivid. It might have just done that.
Yeah, stress, that, tomorrow, if you were out, it's not a lot of the top of the leadership teams there in my opinion. That's right. So I would not be surprised if they are second or place after.
Yeah, it really was. I think what's the great result that we've had in the team as well, and we've seen it in the
it on its head. They are now inside of top 3, arguably one of the most looted core teams here. Take this all home because of their unique play style, their innovation space, but man, Ozzy, if you told me yesterday coming into
If you're enjoying this FNCS watch along, then please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make it great. If they do more of these, we will be doing more watch parties.
It's very interesting right now. Commandment Sense and Edgy are still playing consistent, but man, Deej and Age of Skittles, that statistic, we cannot overhype that enough. They have got more than 20 points in every single one of 8 games in an NA East Finals. That is ridiculous. It's 30 points for a victory out, 2 points for an elimination. But again, I always liken this. If you're a Fortnite player at home, and I hope most of you are, try to even be that consistent in an arena game, in a cash cup, on any level. Try in Fortnite to reach that level of consistency, and then imagine doing it against the 32 other best teams in one of the biggest regions in the world. That is so ridiculously impressive. And remember, Deej and Age of Skittles, they came 6th last FNCS. They're not nobodies on this scene, and this seasons. DJ and us, and Ages especially, have been playing together for such a long time. Very similarly to Jack and Acorn, and it looks like Sappho potentially thought was maybe doing one of the challenges then. I think he's just looting, and the Butterfly is just kind of leading them the way to some bigger and better loot. But right now, there are big teams jumping up, and I don't know who's going to be able to take this. 2 points, a single elimination, the difference. But we mentioned it last game. When Commandment Sense and Edgy get a south zone, that is actually worse for them. So zones, if they start pulling a little bit further away, if it gives them a chance to rotate out, things will be looking a little bit better, which it looks like this zone is. So I think they can come back from this.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone can still bounce back here. Anyone can still continue to pop off, and you called it perfectly. When the zone went south, we knew all of a sudden, man, this is going to be a tough one for them. This is like literally their kryptonite, is the way the zone plays out. Usually a team is stoked to have the zone land on top of them. Not a team like Scented, Commandment, and Edgy. Their playstyle is just not really built for it. Their strategy always ends up playing a lot better when they can move themselves into teams or find teams on the rotate here. For Niddle, Smack, and Casker, though, for whatever it is that they're doing, it has been paying off. They have earned 69 points in this tournament so far. That is nothing to overlook. Like, this is very, very good considering they have been a contested draw spot all day long. Not only today, but yesterday as well. Coming into game 9 right now, it seems like they're once again winning this draw spot here.
Yeah, and we got to take into account their last 2 games of yesterday, they had the most points of any team. Their last games, 11 elim 3rd, 10 elim 6th, 11 elim 6th, and 3 elim 7th. This team is coming back in a big way. A lot of the focus has gone to the obvious FNCS champions on EU, Hen, Janice, and Chapix being contested all of their games, having a big performance yesterday. But we need to talk about this. Niddle, Casker, and Smack right now are in 7th place, potentially about to overtake 6th if they have another big game here. And they have been contested last 4 games. Again, we might have to get the statistics. I have to imagine they've got more points than any other team. They are playing so well right now from not only a contested drop, a drop that isn't that large. It's Retail Row. Like, it's a good drop, but it's definitely not one I'd expect this level of success when going up against another team. And again, yes, they're down on the leaderboard right now, but that's because Niddle, Casker, and Smacked have put them down there. Nick FN, Nobu Beef, and Lupian were the most consistent team of any during these FNCS qualifiers. They came 4th one of the weeks. They're a team that can show up big when they get the loot. They're just being outclassed.
If you are enjoying this FNCS watch along, then please consider to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. If there is more on the Fortnite screen, then we will be doing more watch parties.
To watch them do it, because their story has been nothing short of incredible either. A team that was literally nearly put out of this entire qualification run, coming just, what was it, by the skin of their teeth in semis, a 17th place if I recall. So like a point difference for them, and all of a sudden we wouldn't have seen them in FNCS finals. We wouldn't have seen them take their stab at the reboot round and win that initial game as well. So for them, at least they managed to come through and put up something that no one can say that they've done, like, or a lot of teams can't say that they've done, which is pick up a dub here on the FNCS stage.
And they built a name for themselves, and that's what this is about. We have multiple FNCSs. Yes, in NAE specifically, we talk about a lot of those top teams who are just, you know, performing consistently time and time again. Scented, Edgy, Commandment, back-to-back seconds. We have Jack, Slacks, and Acorn. They won top 5 before that. Reverse 2K, Day and Miro, same thing. A win with a top 5. They are really all up there, but there are new names that are creeping up right now. One of them being DGen, Ages, and Skittles, who are really making big names for themselves. Jamper, Threats, and Rise, a new team on the block that, again, we haven't talked too much about, but they're in
5th right now at 203. And now those are players who are used to also kind of being in the shadows of other bigger, more notable players they've played with in the past, but they're really putting it together right now. I think Rise specifically is one of the most underrated, we use this term a lot, IGL, but leaders in the scene right now. Out of Holy Hedges, they are doing big things, and all it's going to take from them is 1 or 2 victory royales, because right now they're just playing consistent. A 7th place, a 7th place, a 3rd place, a 7th, an 8th. They're so close. 30 seconds off getting those top 3 or victory royale finishes, and very quickly they're up there as well. All the names are in this right now.
Yeah, for sure. Here's a look at DGen, Aegis, and Skittles. We wanted to know how is it that they strategized their early game, because they've been so consistent doing it. You can see here, only earning 64 points here, and I say only because, you know, we got a glance at like Casker and crew and how much they had. They were up in above that high 60 range, so just showing you how good they're playing today. But now though, for DGen, Aegis, seems like a vehicle's gonna ride on by, answer your questions and answers.
So we had to leave because that guy was pulling us away. But hopefully they don't pull us away anymore. Please enjoy. If you do enjoy, hit the like button, because we might do more watch parties if you enjoy it.
Here on the desk, so you know, crew, keep an eye. The desk, so you know, crew, keep an eye on it. We'll see what ends up coming about if they do end up using those props.
I mean, you could easily pull it out as well. A lot of teams, we've talked about this. Me and Sundown love talking about this as well. The old school battle royale strategies. Because when you're already all this good, when the mechanics are on the line, the game preparation, the IGLs, the everything,
you don't
when
expect
you get that peak level, it is, yeah. The slightest difference makes a huge difference. And you don't expect those cheeky little strategies. Like, these guys are running around not expecting someone to or be in the roof, but those are the battle royale strategies that no matter at what level give you an advantage, and any slight advantage over your opponent at this level is just monumental. As unfortunately Kalazo, Tabs, and Ved trying to make a bit of a rotate here. This is an interesting zone. This is a pretty scary one. I've been saying Censored Edge and Commandment do better with difficult zones and opposite zones. They did win their game that went towards Sweaty yesterday, but it didn't go this far past Sweaty. This is not looking like a Sweaty zone. This is looking like a Coral Castle zone.
Yeah, and this is the one that can sit directly on that big sea of water. You don't want it to be on that massive water. It can get very, very difficult pretty quickly for Censored Edge and Commandment. Now, they have to make that decision as well. Where is it that they want to position themselves up? Right now, they do have the safety just so close by, so they can use this vehicle and pretty much get there. But you can see they're not looking to rotate too soon this time. Now they're sitting behind. Now they're trying to find these tags. And I love that they're doing this because they're trying to learn from their previous game, patch up the mistakes that they had in the past game. For Pam, Carrie, and Thatch, they had a great last game. They pulled the second place. They managed to come through all the way and connect all the dots. Here for Slacks and Jack, though, where is their trio? Where is Acorn?
I don't know. It looks like Acorn's gone down here. I'm not really sure how it's resulted in this because we've only lost 6 players. I mean, NA East, I get it. You guys like to play safe. You like to play consistent. You like to play for placement. I get it. But we're getting towards the tail end of day 2. Some of you guys need big jump ups. We're going to need some of you to start fighting. We've only lost 6 players with a Coral Castle zone in the finals. Everyone is just playing so safe and rotating, and teams and players like Slacks and Jack are struggling to open things up. There's so many eyes in all directions. It's really tough to make these fights because they know even if they close out this fight, by the time they get into the next zone, there's over 90 players waiting for them. So I don't know. NA East is proving to just go in ultimate NA East fashion, but Sticks and Jays have got to be a bit scared here. It looks like they've lost Sniper as well, so we might be seeing a 2v2.
Yeah, here it is. Up to Jack and Slacks here to pitch their best throw, because right now they're like these teams out. They're gonna have to cross all the way through. There's a couple duos nearby, but there is nothing free here. Up for grabs, but hold up. He's going for the reboot. Okay, so that is actually a big development, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be able to bring back their third. They'll be able to fully complete the entire picture here and pull back Acorn into this one right now. He does have the match. Look at this. He even saved the shotgun for him. So everything that he could have asked for has now been gifted, and they do manage to jump back into this game. Miro Dan Reverse 2K, though, yesterday, they seemed unstoppable, picking up 9, 11, 8 elimination games back to back, consistent all across the board, and looking like the best fighting team this scene has ever had. Today, though, much different story. Tuning in round after round, almost being too passive. I want to say that I feel like, remember when they won the championship? They had an exceptional day 1 and then just coasted on day 2. It's almost like they thought, hey, if we just, you know, slow things down, we should be able to win this. But I feel the mentality shift or the strategy shift is maybe what's holding them back here. I can't think of what else could be holding them back this much, because not a single elimination. This is unlike any other game we watched from them yesterday.
I think it is genuinely a result of the lobby being that scared of this team. It's the same as we saw with Rezon, Vidil, and Noah Riley when they dropped Sweaty Sands. If you go those kind of edge map major POIs and people know you're there and they have the level of respect that Damir and Reverse do for fighting, you don't want to throw your tournament. You rotate away from them. We're seeing all these players try to play so consistent and make it to endgame. If you're doing that and you think, okay, cool, I got to rotate, I'm coming out of, you know, the flopper house, I'm just next to Dirty Dogs, you are rotating far and fast, and you are avoiding any path between Reverse 2K's team and zone, because that's what they're doing yesterday. They were just walking through people, and now they can't find them. But maybe it is a mentality shift as well. Maybe they're playing a bit safer. We're seeing the other FNCS champions, Acorn, Jack, and Slacks, fall uncharacteristically short as well. They go down. These are your 2 FNCS champions. These are the 2 teams that across 12 games have put it all together and done it before. And on day 2, they're both crumbling. I'd say Reverse 2K's team had more of a lead. I think Day of Miro out. I think Storm Surge has taken them out potentially, unless they're down below fighting. Miro's been doing some big solo clutches. I don't know if it's now up to Reverse 2K. No, they are still in it, but they're a bit further. No shields with med kits. They need a big refresh. This is it. If you're a Day Miro Reverse fan, this next fight, I'm going to put it down, means everything. This is their make or break moment. They win, they can then push on and have a big game. If they go down early again, I have to say it's all over. And I know that might be a bit early. They have gone to 8 eliminations in their last 4 games. We saw them get 18 eliminations, upwards of 30 in their first 3 games yesterday. This is an entirely different team right now.
Yeah, they were just on literally record-breaking pace yesterday. All of a sudden now today, it's so much more of a struggle here, but that's the difference in a 2-day format. The competition can literally review the strategy, review the play, figure out what wasn't working, and then just play better. And for them right now, it seems like the lobby has just improved across the board. And now Reverse 2K and company have to make this big rotate here. Luckily, though, the river is going to work for them, and they do get first dibs on it. So not too many structures blocking them all the way through. And look at that. It is going to be a beautiful, clean rotate here in front. A team that's super lit up there, so could be an elim opportunity for them. Gabe, Tahi, and Sprite sitting dead center, though. They have everything that they need. As you can see, other teams now making a move here. Bucky spread out by himself here with Kanata Macwood left behind. Onto 20 and Sully and Leo. They are going to find him. Unfortunately, he's going to go down now. And that is just how things are going to unfold for them. But take a look at the map. This is only game number 9 here. After this round, we have 2 more games of Fortnite in front of us.
I mean, we've talked about this as well, Monster. We talked about Old Man Mount will take his toll, but I mean...
Wait a minute, chat. I need to quickly do this. Hello? Hello? stop because I'm streaming and I'm trying to watch this as well. So can you stop or I'm going to report you. Okay, that's a report. I just sent a report.
Yeah, definitely. I thought on the line, the big blue sea will lock your team. And that is probably going to be the answer here for half of this lobby as the zone pulls north. And you can
Oh, for God's sake, can you leave me alone?
inside that big blue sea there, that water master can definitely play its part. And we're going to see. But it looks like Dave, Mira, reverse game, managed to bounce back here. Surprisingly, did get the heals off that they need. And they found some loot there. Maybe not through their own elimination, but they surely picked something big up because the refresh is clear. It's evident that they're now, at least, with a fighting loadout here, that they can do something big here. But only 36 points so far in the competition. And they finally turned things around. Was it just a case of, tough game one, tough game two, and this third one here, which is the 9th game of this overall 2-day format so far? Could this be the one where they just bounce back and put away the doubts that we've had so far?
Sorry about that, chat. Let's see if you'll notice if I go like. There we go. Sorry about that, chat. If that happens again, I'll report another person. Sorry.
Preparation. Maybe it's just who has the intelligence, the 200 IQ strats to try it a little bit different, because what Dave Mira and Averse have just done is not conventional by any means.
And also, just look at this Miro here now. Let's not forget, when you're down here, this harpoon becomes so valuable. You can break the floors of structures nearby, find that loot that was left behind inside the storm line, and yoink it, pull it right back into the safety of the zone. And that is what Miro's doing here. This is why he's looking back at the zone there, literally trying to filter out and find any kind of loot possible here. And there it is. He's going to pull in a fresh pump and any other loot that he can get from inside the storm line. So it's going to work out. And they actually pull half in, half out. Okay, Ozzy, we might just be watching that comeback game that they needed. The game that can wash away all the, again, the bad vibes if they had any, the tough vibes that have probably just been settling in here. This could be the game that now all of a sudden throws them right back into the game, puts them where they need to be, and gets them back on the tracks here. They got to get the wheels back on the track to take off again.
And all the teams around them are looking pretty weak. Nets and Savage, the ones that were pressuring them there, if they realized how much health they were on, and as a duo, Dave Mira Reverse would have been all over that. So if a fight breaks out here, they look like they have the advantage. They're back on front side. Remember, Censored Edge Commandment, they were on that edge. And you're talking about tracks. Look at the mini-map. There is pretty much just a track and a set and a path that everyone is following to make this rotate from that island back to the other landmass. Everyone's trying to utilize old builds. No one wants to be the Lone Ranger like you see left on the island, because that is not going to end well for them. But Dave Mira and Averse, they have big pumps. We know they have the fighting capability. They can have a big game out of this, because they just don't need a win. They need eliminations. They need to make a statement. And if DGen Age and the Skittles were potentially able to make this rotate, they could be the team that's poising up for high ground. I don't know who it's going to be, though.
Oh, here it is, though. These shots are coming through, and they are going to find some body tags, and now stinkers as well. We're looking for anything they can find right now, and this is the time to do it here when teams are just trying to set themselves up in those fresh bases, in those fresh builds. But even now, they're just taking their time, like, all right, let's slow it down here. Let's not rush through. We don't have to. But hold up, another opportunity opens up. That team did not fix the wall here. And all of a sudden now the Elims are starting to run through, but no, they get snatched up by another team just nearby. Miro does find Hornet there, so at least it's one of the few. And no, but not anymore, and they could not get the loot. And now Dave falls down for jumping in for the loot there, so they are now down a member. But so is DGen. DGen is down and out. It's up to Skittles here. Skittle finds a pump, but they are going to go ahead and get inside the box. He somehow manages to edit his way out. Skittles somehow sneaks his way out of that very interesting position and literally avoids the team. I don't know how he did it.
I don't know how he did it. We're talking about Nerves of Steel when everything is on the line. DJ and Ages and Skittles in first place. Skittles proving that he has got it as well. That wasn't the flashy edit and pump. That wasn't the high ground take. That was just pure Nerves of Steel. The edit down, the build away, did not panic, and they are now alive to play another day. And that's exactly what they're doing. Not only are they playing, they are going for it. They are pushing up, and they're maybe dropping back down, but high contested. DJ and Ages and Skittles have noticed this. High ground is being fought right now. They can go up, but unfortunately, DJ falls. Edgy has gone down. It's Commandment and Censored. All of our top 4 teams right now, I think, are at least missing one member. No one is a full trio pushing forward. Who can get something out of this game? 10, 20, 30 points would be massive for any of these teams right now to overcome each other. It's literally a battle of duos. This is Trio FNCS, but all your top teams are down to duos.
And I love what Skittles is doing here. He's going to go ahead and layer change up as well. Aegis is now down. It's up to Skittles to clutch up by himself. Reverse 2K might be joining him soon. And oh no, Reverse goes down to the zone there. It is up to Miro once again to solo clutch this. So far, Scented and Commandment are looking like they have the best odds. They have someone here on the edge of the storm. That's the refresher they need, and the follow-up from Scented, it's gonna be good. There goes the full finish. It's on to Sizz Lucky. Scented is still in this game. No more Commandment here. He's gotta be quicker, though. The zone's doing its damage. Can he get there safely? Can he find it? And he does. But no, the Stinker is greeted, and he gets taken out. And now we're looking at a 2-on-3 for the final game.
But this is right now 5th place onto Kazhu Fishy right now. So at the same time, Threats needed this massively. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, he's pinned up against the stealthy stronghold. He can't walk away with it. But right there, we saw 4th place as a duo. We saw 1st place as a duo. We saw 2nd place as a duo. But we also saw 5th place as a full trio. How many points did Jamper, Threats, and Rise get? Again, massive props to Who Fishy, Kaz, and Aspect. I've hyped up their team a bunch. We've got the comp veterans showing up big with the Victory Royale. But they're a bit down there, but we had a lot of our teams in the top 5. The only one I didn't see, Monster, Saf, Stretch, and Avery. Don't know where they were there.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to come down to where they were. And I said the final game. I just meant not even the final zone just yet. That ended on zone number 7, the earliest game I think we've seen. And who knows how many FNCSs. We'll have to hit the analytics for that one. But, Zeke, tell me what you got for that one, because now, again, new teams coming up, but Sense and Edgy, they clap back with Commandment.
Well, that trio you're asking about, were they 27. That's why you did not see them. I know, it's actually insane. That's kind of how I feel as well, MTF, and honestly, it's how I feel as well. Guys, look, I want to give, first off, a congratulations, Aspect, Kaz, Who Fishy. Victory Royale absolutely cannot be denied. It's absolutely incredible. However, it doesn't paint the full picture, because kind of like what they were alluding to, these top 5 trios making it once again into your top 5, that does not spell good things for the leaderboard.
Yeah, even though they got 1st place there, Scented, Edge, and Commandment, Scented at the end, they're clutching up, I believe it was the 3rd or 4th place, so he's still managed to get those top 5 placements, even in rough situations where both of his teammates went down, and then Reverse Day and Miro trying so hard. Again, Day goes down early, so it's just Miro and Reverse trying to clutch up some points. And these trios gotta stay trios in these endgames, because these clutch situations are not in favor. You know what I mean? Like, they're just at a disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, disadvantages. I mean, one of the worst zone pools ever. Over water, always going to be tricky for every single trio out there. It's just a build fest, really. But you know, we talk about Who Fishy's trio, who won that there as well. They've been kind of lulling around the kind of 20th spot for the last kind of 6 games or so. So it's great to see they got the victory royale. Hopefully bumps up a little bit as well. But yeah, I think the top trio. It was sad to see that none of them really delivered in that particular game. But we do have a few more to go. But before we get into the nitty gritty of the next few games, which is going to be the be all and end all of FNCS finals, can I just take a minute to celebrate what an unbelievable season it's been for the game as well? Like, I want to say I've enjoyed so much about this. Check out the Spire, for instance, first and foremost. Like, the map changes every season, we're all getting really excited about. We have weaponry changes, there's map changes too, of course, and the Spire and different ways of getting yourself around the map. But I've loved some of the kind of the new designs. We'll talk about all the kind of like the new fish and the new meat and the new ways you can shield up. There's tons of different ways now that the pros have kind of adapted to the new meta of the game, and I think for all players and speaking as a player myself as well, I've been really enjoyed the new changes. I think for me the opportunity as well to craft new items, but we can see dinosaurs in the game this year as well, which is absolutely incredible. Like, it's what I've always wanted. I think I didn't know I wanted it, but I always wanted it. But for me, yeah, the bows. We saw this. The sniper rifles were vaulted, but we brought in bows this season. The stink bows. I mean, absolutely genius. I've loved seeing these things come into play, and I think the bows this season have been utilised brilliantly by professionals as well.
Yeah, Adams always loves seeing those random go-ahead bow shots that just absolutely take somebody out within an instant. Like, he's always talking about them, but I love the variability to the bows, right? There's so many different bows. You have the stink bow, the flame bow, just the regular bow to go ahead and take somebody out. But another thing that has added some consistency to the game is the mechanical parts and the bones, right? You can find these makeshift weapons and turn them into essentially like whatever you want. As you can see, Macwood here using those parts to get himself a purple pump. So depending on where you land, you can always have that consistent loot so you know what you're fighting for.
Oh, wow, the standings, the leaderboard has changed again. Commandment's Trio back on top there. Vivid will be very happy. 284 points. Only 2 points separates first and second place, with DGens going down to second place. I mean, we saw how close it was last season in NAE. It's going to be just as tight, I think, this season. You can see eliminations are basically... And 49 for Miro's trio, who get back into the top 3 after Saf and co did not have a good game, coming 27th, as Zeke said there as well. So you can see things are changing around a little bit here as well. Who Fishy and co... I don't want to keep using and co as a trio, but it's fine. They go back into 9th position there after being in 20th or so for so long. So it's great to see those boys in the top 10 as well.
Yeah, huge jump in the positions there for them. Saf, Stretch, and Avery obviously having that 0-point game there bumps them from 3rd all the way down to 5th. So that momentum right there has kind of shifted, and they've created a large gap between themselves and that first and second place shot. But what's awesome is DJ and Aegis and Skittles had a 2-point lead over Scented Trio before that last game, and now Scented, Edge, and Ikman have a 2-point lead over them. So those guys are quite literally just flip-flopping, and dare I say that they are going to take this all the way down to the wire. Like, they are going to be neck and neck all the way down through Game 6.
Yeah, we can see here as well, like, look at the 11th to 20th position, you can see that Macwood's trio only have 98 placement points, but 34 eliminations, and they got the same amount of points as 12th through 14th place as well. So you can see just how integral those standing points are proving to be when it comes around to finishing in a particular capacity in each of our games and getting as close to end game as possible and victory royaling as possible as well. But I think it's time, as we always do here in FNCS, to take a little bit of a look at, I guess, a spotlight of a certain player that we know is brilliant and is always delivering the goods. Aegis obviously is part of the DGen and Skittles trio. Solo points, these are points where he is the last man standing of his trio. He's got 18 all by himself going solo into the battlefield there, which is amazing, and 22 eliminations as well, which is amazing.
Yeah, 22 eliminations. That's actually the most of any individual so far throughout this FNCS, so props to him. And even more so impressive, 18 of those 22 elims are unassisted. So he is putting in absolute work as an individual. And then, to boot, elims versus top 10, 9 of them. So it's not even like he's just finding people that are having a bad day. Like, no, he is going toe-to-toe against the best players, those that are even in the top 10. He's doing a great job of finding elims for his team.
It's been so good, and that's the first 3 games of NA East down. Now, guys, I actually want to talk about these teams at the top. Sented's team versus Ager's team, all right? In just that last game, for Scented and his trio, they placed 3rd with 4 eliminations. For DGen, they placed 4th with 3. So literally, just think about this. Like, they're basically flip-flopping, like you said, Vivid. Literally every single set of games. I want to see this come down to this last game. I want to see these guys. You know what I'd love to see? Is literally, like, these guys pull far away. And, like, in Game 6, it's just, like, a 3v3. These 2 teams at the end, and whichever one walks away with the Axe of Champions. That's my dream. Okay, look, I know I'm Zeke, so like I'm just like I just have the most imaginative mind ever, but it's fine. Anyway, Fortnite fam, we hope you guys are enjoying all of the action. We have 3 games left here in NA East before we can crown the Trios champions here. But for now, it is time to step away. That's right, we have to go to a break. But don't worry, you're not going to miss any of the action. We're going to start Game 4 on the break. So what you'll be watching on screen will actually be the very beginning of Game 4. And when that timer hits 0, MDF, Aussie, they'll be right there. They'll pick up the action, and we'll just keep on rolling with the rest of the competition. So really quickly, get up, go get hydrated, come right back, though, because you don't want to miss any of the action here from the FNCS. We'll see you guys in just a little bit.
we're back here just in time to catch Reverse 2K, Miro, and Day getting into a fight here up against Adonis and company. And I love this change of strategy, this rotate here to try and find teams that are, again, targets, right, for them, because that is what worked really well for them day one. They just had so many opportunities to pick up tons and tons of elims, and now we're watching a different strategy, a Southern rotate nice and early for Reverse 2K and company.
Yeah, I talked about it. They need to change their strategy. I don't think it was their mindset that they weren't wanting to take fights. I genuinely think they couldn't find them. Everyone has been running for them, but they know Retail Row has 2 teams added, and this isn't one of the teams that is here, but they've now found Adonis' team in the mix, and I think Daymir and Reverse have them beat at this point unless someone makes a big exchange and this swings back. Daymir and Reverse definitely have the advantage in this fight, and this could be the comeback we were looking for. All this is going to take now is for them to get these eliminations, have their Storm Surge, but wait, as I say that, Day gets hit pretty heavy, so I need to put a bit of respect on Adonis' name here. They might be able to pull this off despite having the loot disadvantage right now.
Yeah, Day gets tagged again as well, but he does get the drop there, so at least he gets his knock in the process. And now they're just trying to find these last player. Where did this last player rotate through? Where are the other 2 here? Little does he know he was behind the rock there, an infantry rifle. 2 body tags is all it takes, and it looks like that was enough to go ahead and rip apart Reverse's shield here. Once again, Adonis just not making it easy, not trying to flop his way out of this game here. But Day, 200 HP, he's back in this. He should be able to wrap things up. So now we're going to hop over to Avery, Sap, and Stretch here. Posed up, or sitting up, posted next to Pose and Sparebow. Felix down low getting his loot here. This is a team that does like to play very strategically. So between the 2, smart play here, not looking to fully engage. But again, we still have a full competition in front of us here, Ozzy. I mean, Sap, Stretch, and Avery have slipped down a fair margin though, right? With only 3 games in front of us, there's still a lot to be put up on the line right now.
Yeah, and I just can't believe first and second place has jostled the last 2 games by a single elimination. We saw DJ and Aegis Skittles in the lead by 1 elimination. Now it's flopped back to Commandment Center and Edgy ahead by 1 elimination, 2 points. This is going to be a ridiculously intense final 3 games because, again, these are 2 teams that have been consistent. They're not 2 teams that have had the story of getting, 20 elimination victory hours like we potentially saw over on EU with Noah Riley, Vidil, and Reason. They've been playing consistent. Centered, Edgy, and Commandment have been playing consistent for multiple seasons. DJ and Aegis Skittles have been playing consistent for multiple seasons. I don't think either of them is going to fall off the pace in a big way. It's not going to be about who loses this. It's going to be about who wins it. Who has their big game to jump up, because the other team is not slipping up. Even when they slip up, they still pull off 15, 20-point games, which is still really, really good. And that is why both of them are almost 40 points clear of third. It is a 2-horse race right now, unless Daymir and Reverse can do what they did at the start of Nations.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to come down to those big eliminations here, and they're still in this competition. For Rokane, Mega, and Dubs, though, they're very much in this competition as well. Let's not count them out. They did fall out a bit short in the last game there, but 8 eliminations is enough to go ahead and hold them on up, keep them inside the running here, as Rokane has tied for the most single-game elims this NA East Finals. Last game with 8 eliminations, just showing that he is still here to pop off. You have to put some respect on players like Rokane. I know we highlight Mega and Dubs all the time because of, again, how much history they have inside the competitive scene, but they have equal as much firepower in Rokane in this trio. But hold up, Ozzy. I saw D-Gen go down in the feed there too. So big storyline developments could be unfolding right before our eyes.
That is very, very big. I just hyped them up, and I mean, I think we've been pretty good this weekend, Monster. I don't think we pulled out too many caster curses. I'm pretty notably bad for it. I seem to do it a lot, but that could have been potentially the first one, but they haven't been fully finished. Just the knock at this point. We've seen some pretty good reboots come out. We've seen people get their way back into the game when they are down, like we've seen Reverse 2K Day and Miro last game. You can come back from it, but Dubs, Mega, and Rokane, this is a team that we haven't been discussing too much, and there was a lot of speculation, there was a lot of talk around Dubs and Mega. They haven't been playing poorly in recent seasons, just not as good as what they used to. And that's what's tough for some of these teams that have achieved what Dubs and Mega have achieved. They went into World Cup duos as one of the favorites. They've had some huge performances and they stuck it out. A lot of teams and a lot of players, I feel like, would have split up with the performances they started to have. Again, they weren't bad by any means, but they weren't Dubs and Mega. But they stuck it out. They found Rokane, and now they're in 6th place. And they're not far behind 5th. Only a few eliminations. So they can jump up and have a really big game. They're behind 5th. 5th has 2 victory hours in Saf's team. They don't have a victory hour yet. They've got a 3rd, a 2nd, a 4th. They need a 1 big game, and I really think they can get a podium finish here.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right there. Getting that big finish there, putting yourself up amongst the best of the best. And again, we give a lot of respect to any team that can rock that top 3. Remember, that's your ticket punch to the next FNCS. So for some, there is still so much here on the line. Even if you cannot get that first place slot, right? You want to walk your way all the way through to another finals. We saw what the teams that did get that last final slot granted to them do with it. They have all managed to show up so far.
They have all managed to show up, and NA East is so consistent. EU, again, we have our big names up there. We had Tayson at the end there. You know, we had Janice Chapix and Hen yesterday, and, you know, we've had Savage up there with his new team, but EU jostles up a lot more at the top than what NA East does. It really is the top teams playing super consistently, and you need to break into, you need to make a name for yourself, because we're coming into a new season. We're coming into a season where I imagine we're going to see some drop spot changes, and you need to build that reputation to hold down some of them, because a lot of these drops, the teams have been going, like Jack Slacks and Acorn, Censored Edge of Commandment, DJ and Ages Skittles, they've had the same drop spot now for multiple seasons. That is a very underrated statement about these guys. They've got it on lockdown. No one wants to contest it because it's their drops, because they're too scared of them. But if the map changed a little bit coming into the next FNCS, you're looking back at those leaderboards. You don't say, oh, who came first 3 FNCSs ago? You say, who came first last FNCS?
Yeah, it's definitely in now. Skittles, Ages, and Degen, though, 63 damage above the Surge here, so it seems like Degen was managed to get picked up here. They did manage to get that save, but it's going to come down to now them finding tags. We already know that just 100 damage above, that's not enough. Just for Chimp, Tabney, and Teo, just a little bit ago on social media, they took to social media to talk about them being 500 damage above in the first zone and still fall to Surge just in the next zone after that. So you have to stay consistent. You have to find your tags. 100 above with 12 players needing to go down is nowhere near safe. For Censored Commandment and Edgy, though, they're now setting themselves up for success. And it makes sense, right? It's pulling out of their drop spot. It's allowing them to rotate into teams and take advantage of it. Stinkers, even better now to open this one up here for them. And they have some extras to play with here.
We get our quick stat blind. Censored and Edgy are the only players with top 3 FNCS finishes in multiple regions, obviously coming off NA West, proving a lot of people have that question. You hear a lot of people talk about other regions going head-to-head. It's been a while since our World Cup, so a lot of people always ask those questions. How good are the other regions? Censored and Edgy proved that they came over for NA West. They had massive success on NA East, proving that they can do it.
I was going to say, but wait. Buzz, Looter, and Speedy coming soon, though, so, you know, give us some time, Ozzy. Give us some time.
Yeah. We do. We have OCE back-to-back FNCSs in OCE, so it's always an interesting discussion. I'm excited to see it. I mean, I know I'm a bit biased. Last time the OCE boys showed up to NA East, they won a week and they came top 10 in the finals. Just saying, but back onto NA East right now. Degen, Ages, and Skittles looking really not too hot for this. Degen has got that pepper popped. He is trying to get to that zone as quick as possible. Does he get in? No, they both go down. No. Degen and Skittles are out. Ages is a solo, 23 health, 100 shield, 7 builds. I have to think this is it. Disaster is struck and Ages is going down swinging, but regardless, he is going down. This NA East finish, second place is out. Only 2 points behind first. First can now try to run away with this. Remember, Damir and Reverse, they're in third right now by almost 40 points. They can catch up. It is all eyes on Commandment, Censored, and Edgy. They've got second place, back-to-back FNCSs. They're sick of being runner-ups. They want to stand up first on that podium and get the champion axe, and this is their chance to do it. As now you see, also, 5th place as a duo. This is their game.
Yeah, for sure. With Avery being down here too, this is just dismantling, picking apart the trios that we are trying to hope to see jump on up and make this a close tournament. But you know what? For a team like Commandment, Sense, and Edgy, you know they have to be feeling so good right now. But this will also equally raise the pressure for them, right? When they know, okay, we're the only team up right now. Our competition is basically not here. The team that was so close to us, how far can they run away with this absolute golden opportunity they have been granted? We already know they have the surge tags, but we also know their zone is ever so slightly shifting back to this western portion. So they're going to have to continue to move. And here's the teams they have to move through. It's Zerx and company. It's Cease and crew just nearby inside that box. But you know what? They have a lot of space to work with here.
I want to talk about this loadout. what this loadout means. This is supreme confidence from Centered right now. Infantry rifle pump. That is an absolutely deadly loadout, but an absolutely unforgiving one. If you miss your shots, you are going down. You have no semi-automatic weapon to pull out and hit the high fire rate. You just have a pump and an infantry. But if anyone can pull it off, it is Centered. Talked about it yesterday. My man puts in the hours. He has over 1,000 hours in the aim trainers, because that's what it's about. It's putting in the hours. It's training. This is like any other sport. You can't just play the game and call yourself a pro. You've got to do what some would consider the boring stuff as well, and it's all going to come down to this. They need to push through TSM Commandment, NRG Edgy, and FaZe Centered. I feel like we haven't talked about how just stacked that is as well. 3 of the biggest orgs in the world all represented on one team. Only in Fortnite could you see that happen, and they're set up in a great spot right now. Edge of 4th, they're not going for the big high ground. They have the potential to pull the half, the 5th zone, and they have 8 peppers, Monster. 8 peppers. We've seen what they can usually do with 2 or 3 on a single rotate. If they can keep these going all end game, this is looking like a big win condition for them.
Yeah, for sure. And this is all going to come down to here. What can they do with this big game here? I'm hoping that they do end up popping off here, but so do Miro, Reverse UK, and Day, of course, too. We want to see them pop off as well. They have the HP to do it, and this is probably the healthiest we have seen them coming into a game. So far today, those first 3 games were just brutal. Round after round, it almost just always somehow ended up like Miro by himself, or the team just broken apart, really trying to figure things out with their loot. But this time, 3 Elims to rotate into retail early, picked them up a full team wipe, and now they're looking very strong here inside this game right now. They do pull zone as well. This is big, and they're on the side of the mountain hold as well, so they have that little bit of advantage, especially if the zone ends up coming up this way towards the spire.
And we have Jampa, Threats, and Rise out. So that is 2nd place, down. That is 4th place, down. 5th place is a duo. So all eyes on Commandment's team and Day's team. These are the 2 teams in the run right now. You need to see Day, Miro, and Reverse have a big game. The pressure's on them. They can't just win this game. If they win it, they need eliminations to boot right now, because Commandment, Sense, and Edgy are holding on to their lead, and it's Day's team that's playing catch-up. Last time we saw them when they won their FNCS, Monster touched on it beautifully earlier today, they were in the lead coming into day 2, and they slipped off a little bit, but they just held on. Now they're trying to catch up as Stretch goes down as well. So that means 5th place is down to a solo. All eyes now on Day's team to try to catch this up, because even if they can't get the win, this is their chance to secure a top 3 or even a top 2 and try to chase down the leaders. But they're only 72 above, and where does zone show? Do they get the zone? Does it pull towards this? It does! It pulls towards the southeast section. Commandment, Sense, and Edgy get to just stroll into the next zone, sit up pretty. They're not going to go for high ground. We know this team has got eyes on the low ground, and they got eyes on the prize right now. They are in a beautiful position to win this.
All right, I wonder what kind of plans they're making with this one, because this is virtually a free ride to endgame for a team like Commandment, Sense, and Edgy. I don't remember them pulling a zone so far inside this FNCS. For the most part, it's always them moving, rotating. The one time they had high ground, they had to cut all the way across the field. But for Day, Mirror, Reverse 2K, for Scented, Commandment, and Edgy, they all now have the zone. So it seems like they'll be able to sit pretty here for quite some time. Now though, Day sitting on a bunch of this extra loot here. They can definitely do something big with this, which means they can take this box in any which direction that they want to. They should be A-okay as well to do exactly what they want to do best. Find Elims in this end game, rack up these points. They already got 4 this game. This is the best game so far of the day. This is the best position we have seen this trio in coming into today. Yesterday, they were on such a record-breaking pace. Today, they are now playing catch-up. It's almost today, and now they're just trying to catch back up.
Mega, Rokane, and Dubs are still in this in 6th, because we have 7th and 8th down as well. This is the complete opposite of last game. Last game, we saw all the big players make it to the end game, except for Saf, Stretch, and Avery. Now, almost none of them are here. Only 3 teams inside the top 8 right now are here, and we've been seeing Miro pull up a lot of solo clutches today. This is Day's moment. This is the player you want to watch coming into this end game. Everything is going to pivot on Day as Dubs has gone down. It is now up to Mega and Rokane. You guys at home know, if you watch any competitive Fortnite, if you watch any Fortnite at all, you know how lethal Day can be. And honestly, so far today in these end games, he's been a bit quiet. It's been down to Storm Surge. He has had his back up against the wall, but right now he has the advantage. They get zone. He has his foot forward, and he needs to make something big happen. I'm looking at Day to pick up this team and try to carry them and push them forward, because it takes those kind of superstars to make these big games. Day's been here before. They've won an FNCS, but such a young player who's just rose astronomically. The pressure's on, and they need to make it happen as Center's going to lead the rotate with those peppers like I talked about earlier.
Yeah, here it is. It's time to go in and hit the peppers, get the rotate. They're gone, and they're doing a good job making it all the way through. Not a single team looks back to fire at them either, so it's going to be a successful rotate to the front zone. Reverse 2K, Miro, and Day right up above. Use all that excess loot to do just that as well. And that's the benefit of sitting on top of the refresh loot there. You have so many options to play with. But for Edgy and crew, what else can they find here inside this game? The longer they stay alive, the better they are, again, distancing themselves away from that second place team of Degen, Azers, and Skittles, who are no longer inside this competition. As far as teams up right now, Mega Dubs, Rokane, Day, Miro, and Reverse 2K are the biggest competitors for them to go ahead and gap themselves away with. And it looks like they're looking at one another right now. The shots are exchanging between the two bots, and that is our first and third place team ever so slightly getting into a bit of a skirmish on both sides of the wall there.
And they're right next to each other. We talk about Edgy, Commandment, and Centered being the kings of low ground. They got feet on the ground right now, but I think Zone might go back up and over here. They need to get up. The spray's coming out. This is very scary for them. Daymir and Reverse are looking a bit better here. And if you look at Edgy's loadout compared to Centered, they have put all the firepower on Centered. If Centered gets caught out, they are going to lose so much coming into this end game. Daymir and Reverse have evenly spread it out a little bit. They have kind of spread the loot and the pressure out. Centered is putting a lot of the pressure on himself right now. He has the big pump. He has the big infantry rifle, and right now he's sitting at the back looking to use them. Bucky takes down Coop. Macwood finishes off Coop. Miro gets flaked, so they're getting elimination on the board. There it is, 6 eliminations right now. They have 4 on top of Centered, Commandment, and Edgy. They are getting the points back, but Centered's looking for it. They need to try to get to a spot in this zone where they can get down the bottom. If this zone goes down and then 8th zone goes across the mountain, that is Centered and Edgy's win condition. They need the zone to pull across as Day gets another knock and an elimination. Day is stepping up like I asked him to, and they are pushing through this mid ground. They have the mats, but both of these teams, I would say Monster, are in almost identical situations.
Yeah, they all are. They all are just looking so good right now as far as the loot, the overall situation goes inside the game. But Cease is going to go ahead and fall there to the hands of Rokane and company. Rokane's going to find Knifer, and then the follow-up too. So that's a quick team right for him. And now, again, it puts him in position now to go ahead and carry his team just a little bit more, closer to that top 5 situation right now. And he is still in this game here. That's a big pump. 94. Can he get the body tag? No, he doesn't find it. But again, it is all about stealing away these placement points here. As Centered, Commandment, and Edgy just barely squeak their way out of that low ground. It's up the mountain. It's so tough to make these rotates, but they do manage to pull it off. And it's another end game finish for them. Miro's going to actually find Rokane there on the backside of the zone before he falls to the hands of Centered. So big of a shot right there. Pivotal moment here for Centered. They are just trying to stamp their way to first place here, Ozzy.
This is everything right now. Centered, the pressure's on. We've seen Edgy pull off the last place shot. We've seen Commandment do it time and time again. Centered, do you have it? Nerves of steel, the big pump in the back pocket, the infantry rifle. I have been hyping up your aim for days now. Can he pull it off? And no, he's gonna go around the outside. He pushes away, he denies the elimination, and Macwood, Kanata, and Bucky walk away with a 15 elimination victory out. I've got to apologize to you guys. We have been focusing big at the to you guys. We have been focusing big at the top of the leaderboard. That is a team in 11th, and that is a huge surge up. Bucky's team has been very vocal on social media about having the comeback of Fortnite's history in day 2. So far, they've been a bit quiet, but I think that might be our biggest elimination win so far, Monster. That's a huge game, but is it too little too late?
Yeah, credit to the Victory Royale there. Credit to their performance so far today. Again, just that's over 100 points they put on the board today alone, making it at least a comeback story for them. Remember, what's on the line for some teams is still fighting for that top 3. And with how teams are falling up at the top there, Ozzy, anything can still happen. It is anyone's game. But for Centered, Edgy, and Commandment, though, right now, they're looking so good. We're going to toss it over to the Desto. Zeke, Adam, Savage, Vivid, tell me what you got, guys.
Monster just wanted to say your full name. I caught you, Monster. Okay, you're exposed. All right, crazy game. You know what I love about this as well? In the back, we're kind of watching this game unfold. And Vivid, you're like, wait, high ground, look, and I'm like, what? I don't see it. What are you talking about? You're like, look, Bucky, Macwood, Kanata, they're up there. They're gonna do it. I'm like, Vivid, you know, you're not an ex-professional player that's been on the stage at Fortnite World Cup. You're crazy. You don't know what the heck you're talking about, boy. Boom! It happens in a 15 VR, 15 elimination victory royale. See, my mind's getting ahead of me now. absolutely insane. Well fought for the trio. How you feeling about that, Vivid?
Feeling good because, you know, we keep talking about how last FNCS, that specific trio had an amazing day 2 after a not so good day 1. And if they keep up what they just did, if they get another high elimination victory out like they just did, they could very well do a duplicate and just have like a quick rise up the leaderboard just from a superb day 2 performance.
Yeah, you know, Ozzy hit the nail on the head there. You know, we focus so much on the top kind of few teams that we kind of sometimes don't look at the back of the pack, 11th through 20th, for instance, and they have been there or thereabouts. Macwood's trio in 11th for ages. Suddenly, 15 eliminations and a VR gives you an extra 60 points on the board. That's going to really shoot them up into contention now. So I can't wait to see how this one unfolds. But, you know, our two teams as well, Vivid, you know, our Miro's trio centered as well. I mean, they got a lot of points on the board, but the top is going to look mighty, mighty interesting. I can't wait to see what happens.
You know, we're going to get to those standings, but first, class, it's time to take a seat because we're going to the Vivid School of Learning. Teach, over to you.
Teach, yes, grab your notebooks because we're going to be looking at that victory out from aspect of them. But I wanted to highlight how we always talk about, you know, the front of the zone. Look how they are in front of the zone, the moving zone. So the moving zone is essentially going that way, and they are at the front of it. Whilst they are at the front of it, there is a huge fight going on the high ground, and whilst this fight is going on, it's forcing these guys to stay towards the back of the zone there. And basically what that does is it creates this huge gap and this opportunity.
Right guys, hopefully that was the last game because I am ending. So if you want to see more watch parties, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make it grey. Also turn on post notifications because we have finished this live stream and I have really enjoyed this watch stream, this watch party, and I hope you have too. So get ready for more watch parties because this was actually really fun. I enjoyed this, hopefully you did as well, but everything has to come to the end. If you want to watch the FNCS, you can watch it live on the Fortnite channel instead, or you can log on to Fortnite and you can watch it there. Fortnite is a wonderful game when there's not bad guns, so you might want it. But yeah, goodbye chat.